Shalom. Can you roll up the window? Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Arukakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, GMS that rule well, and peace and salutations to the elect of the true nation of Israel, Yasharallah. This is part 2 to my last lesson. I wanted to get these few precepts in, but I forgot about them, and I can't. You can't do the last lesson, or do a lesson on that topic about the new bodies without these precepts. So this is Isaiah 40 and 43, and 40 and 31, Slakia. It says, "But they that wait upon the Lord, Yahweh Shai, shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint." And that's symbolically and spiritually and literally talking about, at the same time, literally talking about how those new bodies are going to be like, man. Hey, we're going to be immortals. And immortals don't worry about being too tired. Immortals don't worry about being unable to breathe underwater. They don't have to worry about sleeping, unable to fly, unable to go to certain planets, because like the scriptures say, the Lord has many mansions for us. All right, He prepares a place for us, and that's talking about outer space. Okay, we're unable to go to that place right now because we're in these mortal third dimensional bodies, man. If we go to planet Jupiter, we'll disintegrate. If we go to planet Venus, we'll disintegrate because it's too freaking hot. If we go to Neptune, we'll freeze to death or be destroyed because of the winds and and those are just the planets in our solar system. Imagine all the planets in these innumerable amounts of galaxies, and then within those galaxies are innumerable amounts of solar systems with tens, dozens, maybe 20 plus planets in them, and there's many types of planets, man. The Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is about variety, and who else is like that? His people, Jake, us Israelites, man. We love variety, okay? In everything about us, we love variety, man, okay? And the Lord is going to give us, all of creation, okay? Look at the animals. There's every single variety of animal, okay? And back in the day, there used to be even more varieties, but Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, destroyed those animals, killed them off to extinction. But that's a topic for another lesson. But yeah, man. And we're not going to be able to, right now in these fleshly bodies, we're unable to even live a certain while, man. We have to die, Our bodies can't live over a certain amount of time. We get sick, we could break, our arms could fall off, get chopped off, and they don't regrow. We're not immortals, man. So hey, man, be ready for those new bodies, man. All right, we always talk about those new bodies. We need a new body. Hey, it's scriptural. All right, it's real. They're coming, okay, and they're coming with the Lord. It says, "Those that wait upon the Lord, all right, shall renew their strength." All right, we're gonna be able to. We're gonna have otherworldly strength, man. Okay, this is Wisdom of Solomon 3:7. It says, "And in the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble." All right, and that's talking about during when the Lord lifts up that standard and blesses His elect men with those new immortal bodies. We're gonna be talking about the sparks among the stubble. We're going to be like sparks going to and fro among the stubble. Talking about America's going to be destroyed. There's going to be wars, civil war in America, tanks, army troops, buildings being destroyed and whatnot, people being unalive, fire everywhere. America's going to be stubble, man. And we're going to be those sparks among that stubble. We're going to be Like freaking Superman. Literally, as funny as you think it is, as funny as it sounds, we're going to be like Superman, like these superheroes. The Lord didn't put the spirit in the minds of these movie directors to make these Marvel movies, these superhero movies, for nothing. Okay? It's for his elect to watch and to be inspired. All right? It's a prologue, a preview of what's to come. Okay? The hand of the Lord's hand is in everything, man. Even these movies. Okay? All right? These movies aren't made for nothing. Okay? It all comes from the Lord. Okay? No, these movie directors aren't prophets. They're not men of the Lord, saints of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, but hey, the Lord works through his creation. All right? All of his creation. Okay? And we're going to be like Superman in those times. When the Lord blesses us with those new bodies, man. All right? We're going to be picking up tanks with one arm, with one hand, and chucking it like a little baseball. We're gonna be catching missiles, like footballs. Having them explode in our hands. And nothing happened to us. Bullets are gonna be flying off of us. We're gonna be flying through the air, flying through military troops, a whole army, man. But like King David did, he ran through a horde of troops. We're gonna do greater. All right, we're gonna do greater than that. Like the scriptures say, the things that Yahweh Shai did, the works that he did. All right, we're gonna do greater. And the things that Yahweh Shai did, all right, when he was on earth, all right, they wasn't even able to be written all down in the Bible. Okay. He did so much that, hey, the Bible couldn't fit all the marvelous miracles that he did. And we're going to do more than that and greater. All right? Because he was a little bit below the angels. All right? Like the scriptures say, he came a little bit below the angels, talking about he's going to be in the form of a man and do manly things, but righteously, perfectly. All right? He was a perfect man. Okay? So he wasn't flying. Okay, yeah, he was walking on water. He did amazing works that man wasn't able to do, but we're going to do greater, okay? We're going to be shooting laser beams out of our eyes. Yeah, laugh us down the street. Who cares, man? Because it's going to happen. We're going to be tossing tanks through buildings, all right? We're going to be flying outer space. We're going to be dwelling on these other planets, these innumerable amounts of planets, okay? And we're going to have the bodies to be able to dwell and live on those planets.